Hi, I need to make a kayak stand for three of our kayaks, and it's on a weird position in our property, so I'm going to be kind of making this up as I go, but I figured I would document some of it so it might help somebody. Uh, Here is the kayaks, and here is the place I'm putting it. Up against this shop. So let's check it out. I'm trying to make it with this 4x4 pressure treated and some cedar 2x2s, and I'll show you in a little bit. The first cross piece that the kayaks will rest on, I'm going to cut out. I think I'm going to make it about 34 inches, and then I can just use this as a stopper when I cut the rest. I'm gonna need 6 of them so I can store 3 kayaks. Okay, so the general idea is we're gonna have a 4x4 post, and then we're gonna have these 2x2s coming out at a slight angle, roughly 31 inches, I think. We're going to have 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then the kayaks will all go like this. It's like that. So you're kind of, the upward angle is going to make it so they don't want to fall out as easily. So, and they might tip up a little bit like this, but it's not a big deal. So I have I cut this one at about 34 inches on the chop saw here, and I'm gonna see if I can do this while I'm holding me. I bought this. This is just a kind of a cheap angle miter gauge. So basically what you do, that was shiny, you put this up here. This is so you can just keep doing this for all of them. You don't have to keep trying to, you tighten this up, and then it'll tell you the degrees it is. So that's looking like it's about almost 80 degrees. See if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. About 80 degrees. So I'll cut 5 more of these, and should be able to make this. I'm gonna cut notches so these will fit right in there and be a lot more stable. Here's a little trick that some people I don't think understand about, but with these fold up miter, whatever they are, fences or whatever they are, you can put this little guy up here. You raise it up, then you pull this out. You get your cut. Get it lined up where you cut it, and then you have this, and it becomes your stopper. You just lock this down, and now I can cut 5 more of these without having to measure each one. I just slide it up to the stop here, and it's at the 34 inches that I was wanting. Okay, you can decide whether you want to just screw this right in to the exterior of the 4x4. If you want to screw these guys here like this, you could just do that. You can a couple screws, pre-drill and screw in a couple screws, and it'll probably be fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all this out with a circular saw. I'm going to cut here and here, and then I'm going to make several cuts across here, and then I'll take a chisel and I'll just chisel out all of that, and then I can place that into the rabbet. It's called a rabbet. that rabbited notch right there, and it'll be a lot more stable and should hold it pretty tightly. So I'll show you how to do that next. Okay, I set my depth on my circular saw to the thickness of this 2x2, and that's how deep I will cut these notches that I have marked here. And I won't be able to hold this while I'm using the saw because it's really unsafe to do that, but I'll show you after each few cuts what I'm doing, okay? Okay, I'm just gonna cut across this line, so I have my idea of where I'm supposed to be going, and then I'm gonna cut about 4 or 5 cuts in random places across here to make it so I can break it out with a chisel. Okay, that's what it looks like. It goes about that deep. And what you do is you just take a chisel and you just break this all out. And you just move it out of there. You can clean it out a little bit. You don't have to clean it out too much though. And then your wood can just fit right in there. See? And then you can just pilot drive a couple holes here so you don't split out the wood, and then screw in some wood screws. Now once you get the other notches cut, I clamp it to where I kind of want it to be, because this is going to be the length of it, and then I'm going to pre-drill and countersink with this kind of bit. I like these a lot because you can get them kind of deep. So it kind of sinks it deeper in there. And then I'm going to put these wood screws in. I'm going to add a little bit of Titebond 2, which is an exterior, interior exterior, and it's water resistant. I'm just going to give a little dab of this just to, because if these ever rot out and I want to change them out, it'll be easier if I don't put a ton of glue, but it'll just help a little bit. So I got those all drilled and screwed in, added a little glue to it, and because I was making up as I go, I didn't really have this pre-cut, so I'm gonna have to cut this now with it already assembled. So I'm gonna do that on here, try to do it somewhat safely, and I'll show you what it finishes up to look like. Next thing I did was I put a ledger on the side of the building, measured out where the studs were, so I was connecting to solid wood, not just siding. And I put the rack up against it, kind of leaning it out a little bit, so it's plumb, but it's not level, I guess you could say. I have it coming out a little bit at an angle these nails I need to grind off. They were to show where my studs were. So I just tacked it to this for now, just to kind of eyeball where we want to put it. Okay, I got the second upright notched out, and I'll just start cleaning it out. Then I'll just do the rest, and then I'll add these posts and take it back and screw it all in, and I'll show you the final result. So I'm putting the last screw in to a bunch of angle brackets, 90-degree angle brackets for the rack, and this is what it looks like. Still got to put this one on. It's just low enough so you can get 3 on, keep them up off the ground, and still be able to do it with, well, I'm a pretty big guy, but still be able to do it with one hand. So see if I can do this. I'm a really big guy actually, so I can probably swing this, but swing it up. This is the smallest one, but there we go. Made it in a couple hours, and yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll try to answer however I can.